Hey, everybody. Welcome to the bi-weekly Boring Enterprise Nerds Nerdletter Talk. I am Paul Moderman, and with me is the amazing and awesome Yelena Perfilieva. Um, and what we do is we just talk about the stories and the things that we're thinking about writing about in the next issue of our newsletter. Um, so I guess maybe without further ado, let's just jump into the fun stuff.
Yep.
Yelena, do you want to go first or should I go first?
I can. I'm ready to go. So
Let's
if that's okay, all right.
I nominate you to be the
I
first one.
yeah, I shamelessly went first last time. So why break the tradition? All right. So three fascinating stories this time. So this one, it's an interesting article. It was
Ooh.
highlighted in Diginomica. Or Diginomica. I'm not sure if if I've been pronouncing this correct all those years. We'll have to check with John Reed what the
Yeah.
correct pronunciation is of his fine publication. Um, but this is kind of articles that I wouldn't normally picked up on, but I think it is an interesting subject. So official title here is Strategies for Holding Your ERP System Integrators Accountable. And it basically talks about different types of engagements with consulting companies or SIs, like system integrators, as we call them in SAP world.
Mhm.
Specifically, it's again talks about different types, but I'm kind of thinking this is all cool. This like nice information, but I also have some of my own kind of war stories and coming from both sides of the table here, from both customer side and SI side that I'm on right now. So I will try to kind of walk gingerly that path in between and not to create any potential conflict of interest with my current employment, but to talk about this. And Paul, we had actually roundtable about this in the Tech Connect conference,
Mhm.
which sadly wasn't as well attended as
Yeah,
we were
well,
hoping.
yeah.
But I hope that it wasn't because of the subject has no interest in among SAP customers. It was probably just bad timing, overwhelming overall content. Because I think it's very sensitive subject, but we need to talk about this openly, I
Yeah.
think, in order to have some kind of improvement in what I'm sure, Paul, you have experienced on some of the project and
Yeah.
what I have seen myself from both customer and client side.
You know, I, whenever I hear SIs, like my brain kind of goes to this little place of, and I probably am scarred from the industry that we work in, Yelena.
Hmm.
But the question that pops into my head is, and this is such a terrible thing. Does anybody actually like their SI?
Yeah.
Does anybody actually like their SI? I I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's not even necessarily a judgment on the SIs. It's just
Yeah.
like sometimes that relationship is just totally fraught with all kinds of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
And it's a bit of a spoiler alert because that's gonna be probably primary golden thread of my story. It's really about people more than anything else.
Mm,
Because again, from my experience on the customer side, it's not like the company is like evil. It's like, oh, and think about huge companies like Accenture or like, I don't know, IBM, whoever,
yeah.
many of those four. There are really awesome people who work there, but also really not that awesome people who also
Mhm.
work there. Sometimes I guess it's maybe lottery, which you get. It's like a box of chocolates, you know. Sometimes your selection. Um, we definitely had, I think, working for like medium-sized SAP customer company, which is going to be pretty big business maybe in any other world.
Yeah.
But we had better success with freelancers rather than like engagements with like big consulting companies, because that is
Yeah.
definitely less of a box of chocolates situation. Because that's a person who comes usually with some references. They are very specialized. They really know their stuff. And I have seen some people I worked with as like consultants in the early days. Now I look at them like one person is like C-level executive these days, but that's because he is really good. He was really good
Yeah.
as a consultant back in the days. We had him like individual, like personally contracted with us, and he continues to be good and did really well for himself. So yeah, I couldn't be more happy or proud for him. So yeah, it's kind of interesting starting point for conversation, but I obviously are not going to rehash the same points. I think whoever wants to read about different engagement types, this is obviously article written by consulting companies that has like spoiler alert again ending with talk to us how we can help. So that that wasn't surprising to me at all. Like
Yeah.
I knew
What are
who
you gonna
shared
do?
this, but it's a fair, I think it makes some fair points and has some good information. um all right, so next it's like finally some good freaking content on SAP community. So someone, and sadly usernames these days they look like this, like Bjorn S. I have no idea who this person is now anymore, but great piece on ABAP feature metrics. And I was at first confused, like what the heck this AFM
Yeah.
ALM is, and whether this is new solution from SAP, whatever three-letter
Mm,
abbreviation. But it's, I think ABAP feature metrics. That's what it's really meant. So really interesting initiatives that I believe started with DSAG, according to the story, and it's available, I think, online somewhere. So it looks something like this. It's like here are different releases, and they went like really far. It's like to 7.4. Before that, I think that would be way too far, even though there are many customers who are on releases before that. But it's
yeah.
really, I
Yeah.
think the speed of change, it really like went like whoosh between like 7.4 and 2023. So lots of changes, and the importance of this, it came actually at the right time for myself personally, because we were just talking about this at work, how sometimes we have developers from different parts, like some from customer side, some maybe from other companies too, who are coming onto the projects, and they have their own experience from like this part from the good old days, but they sometimes try to use just that in the new environment, which has
Mm,
more options available. But they simply don't know, because no one is telling you this stuff unless you
yeah.
go out and learn actively, or you stumble upon it by accident, or subscribe to our newsletter. So so you have really, there is no like ABAP weekly magazine published by SAP that tells you that. You have to dig. This is published information, but you have to go and dig for it. And I think
Yeah.
that point that this blog post is actually making, that's like, yeah, you really need to make an effort to find. And here instead of is very nice and convenient metrics for you. So I'm just really super happy this finally someone came up with this.
Yeah. This is one of those things where like I because this kind of the kind of thing where there's sort of the you know, in the most affectionate way possible, the old fuddy-duddies who know all the old stuff off to the right hand side of the chart there, right? And they come in and there's a new world, and they whatever like I don't think people are doing enough sharing
Yeah.
of new cool ABAP code. I
Mm.
don't even say cool, I just new features, right?
Yeah.
ABAP code out in the universe. I mean, an obvious weakness here is probably just the community site, which I mean, I don't think people are really flocking
Yeah.
to share things.
Yeah.
But just in general, like when I think about other languages or other tech ecosystems, one of the ways that things, one of the ways that new approaches get out there is just communities sharing them and talking about them. And something is not the ABAP community, if there is such a thing, doesn't have much of that in the
Yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It was honestly difficult to find this post after this
Yeah.
whole stupid redesign that we talked about a lot. I mean, since we are here, just look at it again. Technology blogs by members, which is huge area. I use RSS feed to follow ABAP specific posts. But if someone does not post something related to ABAP, they don't use the right tag, good luck finding it,
Yeah.
because there is
Yeah.
just no way. You start here, you don't even know where to go. I cannot express enough how stupid this part is. What even is this? This is like junk. I mean, it just irritates me so much every time I go to this website that I'm inclined to use my ad block to just hide this element, honestly, because just look at this. Like it's like from A through B, it doesn't even go further because it
I don't know,
probably
Yelena. I
like
think I want to learn
top
about business
100.
trends.
Yeah, business
Yeah.
trends. There is one item clearly on the
Yeah.
whole SAP, or business applications too, whatever that is, or BOP strategies. What the heck is BO?
What even is that? Yeah.
Blockchain, yes, Bitcoin. Clearly, we're not writing enough about this. So I don't know. And related content, like, huh, like like, like how is this related? ABAP to XLSX. Sweet. Someone asked random question about ABAP. Let's post it here. So SAP, meet me on camera 5. Get your shit together and fix it. Honestly, I don't know how else I can say it. All right. So back to our stories, back to the fun
Mm.
part of the island. So story number 3. So Dylan Beatty, I have covered one of his previous videos, and when I saw this, I'm like, yes, like I don't care what this is about. I am gonna write about this. I just see a title. I don't need anything else from Dylan. It's enough for me. So this
Sold.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm so like, okay, done. Like story for this week, done. Like thank you, Dylan. Like
you
doing God's work here.
you had me at moron.
Exactly. So this actually turns out like not exactly what I thought it would be. He talks here about a case when, and this is actually a legal term, and it's like the TLDR for this. It's so legal part of it is like if something is like only Moran in a hurry can mistake it for something, then it's not really the case. So you cannot take the situation seriously.
Hmm.
That's what he talked about here. I think it was in relation with like apple the fruit or something along those lines.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of have this feeling that related to UI and more generally UX, like as an user experience, I think more in a hurry, it's a great definition of a category of users that I would legitimately maybe think of when designing this like UI or UX, because um, and I have my own personal experience to share because it's when you're not in a hurry, you not necessarily understand how easy to become a moron when you are in a hurry or when you are stressed and have maybe unusual situation when you kind of do not act as your rational self. And I actually had a blog post for like my workplace, where I wrote about my experience at the airports when everyone's talking how great airports are in terms of sharing information, and I'm like, yes, but they only think about people who just arrived there, who live in that city, who arrive at that airport, and they come in from from departures, they go in through like security, they have a happy path, but no one is thinking about people who like transitioning through this airport, or maybe they don't live there and don't like frequent the airport. Maybe they are from another country, or they don't speak language. So there are many situations where like they're not necessarily morons, like as in normally they might be very smart people, but they are just in a hurry, they're
Yeah.
stressed, they are not paying enough attentions, or they're looking at like frantically looking knows a
Yeah.
different direction. So there are very many situations in real life that I can relate like this. So
I
I
mean,
really,
that's
yeah,
like I would characterize moron in a hurry. That's basically my smartphone usage,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
unless I'm deep scrolling something I'm really into, moron in a hurry is most of my
Yeah,
smartphone usage.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think yeah. To me, like just that describes me as a category. I think
Yeah.
pretty accurately. I mean, I totally admit it. Like that, I like generally in life, I may be a smart person, but in some cases, I'm like, I don't really want to learn more. Just
What?
give me like some
Yeah.
stuff like and that I need to do, and I'm gonna move on. So yeah, so really, really great. I think just this expression, I'm gonna totally steal it. So
Yeah.
so that is all for me, Paul. So over to you.
Okay. Let me share my stuff. I've been going on this kick of buzzword mixing,
Yeah,
and I came across
sustainability.
another one
Yeah.
where this is also AI and sustainability. And I did a quick read through it, and
Mm.
I'm trying to find like I'm annoyed by it, so I'm going to write about it, but I got to find a different angle on it because my annoyance is this. It's possible to open your mouth. So people get on like Chat GPT for being like wordy and fluffy and whatever, and like
Mm.
that's fair. That's a fair whatever. But like ChatGPT is born of human text training. And there are certainly cases where people's writing or speaking is just as like fluffy and nothing as ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the people or a lot of the places who write or speak about this subject or the mix of these subjects have that problem, which is like I I am someone who does so who I do sometimes have a hard time like putting a fine point on my critiques of things. I kind of like I more like to be goofy usually, but but this is like nothing. There is nothing said here. There's no there's no useful information. There's no. This says the tagline here says how Gen AI can be put to work to free up blah blah blah.
Mm.
There's no answer to that.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually say that. All of these, there are so many prognosticators out there where the flavor of how Gen AI can do whatever, the answer to that or the thing that they say is, well, when
Shrug
Gen
and
AI
monkey.
makes you more productive, you'll be able to do the thing, right?
Yeah.
But that, even if that's true, even if I grant you that,
Mm.
that is not saying anything special about Gen AI then.
Yeah.
Because anything that makes you more productive lets you focus on something else.
Mm.
So, like, why are you even saying Gen AI in this case? That I am so annoyed by this. I'm especially annoyed. I'm especially annoyed because I both professionally and personally, I get meaningful results when I try to do the things that I want to do with
Mm.
Gen AI. And a lot of times it's just like screwing around or having it help me write satire or having it help me write goofy poems or do some stuff with program code or whatever. It's legit helpful for that stuff. But like you're doing a disservice to everybody if you put forward something else that you don't have anything to actually say about. And that I think is what's happening here. So whew, I gotta get off this cranky old man
Yes.
thing.
Yeah,
I man,
it's funny that you mentioned it's not even clear anymore whether it's ChatGPT generated or people genuinely kind of express themselves like that, right? Like that. I actually have noticed texts that I had exactly that feeling about. And like looking at, and it's my I have pretty good now ChatGPT generated text radar where
yeah,
I can
yeah,
sometimes say like, okay, I'm 99% sure ChatGPT wrote at least most of it or even all of it. But sometimes
yeah,
you're looking at it, it's like I have some like my radar is bleeping a little bit, but
yeah,
I'm that also looks like maybe if you're a marketing professional, maybe that's how genuinely you write
yeah.
because so
That's
it's like,
yeah.
is it Gen AI generated or is it something that ChatGPT was trained on to
To
generate
make it
that,
that
yeah, to
way,
make it
right?
that way? So
Yeah,
I'm like, I
because
don't know, it's like
that's
chicken or egg situation
I
here.
because you're right.
Yeah,
You're right to say that way too, because I am not accusing either this author or the person they're interviewing.
yeah,
I'm not accusing them of using Gen AI to write their
yeah.
stuff. I am kind of throwing shade on them for not saying anything substantive, but
Yeah.
that's not the
Oh
same
yeah.
thing as
Yeah.
not using
So
Gen
so
AI, right?
who is SAP Safi? Can you scroll down a little bit? Who is this person?
Chief Sustainability
Chiefs,
Officer.
yes, assistant. So
So I
from
don't know. I'm probably going to
chiefs,
get in trouble for even saying that. Well, that
well,
would.
I mean,
I mean, I would think we
hold
would
on a
need.
second.
I think we would need more people to watch our videos for me to get in trouble for
Yeah,
this. But like,
yeah.
yeah,
But still, I mean, this is public information, so we're not blowing anyone's cover.
yeah,
I would say, like from chief sustainability officer interview, I don't know, or some kind of wherever this person gets their information from, I would expect more substantial information if, from someone who actually in position to be chief of something. So if there is no substantial information, that's pretty much on that person. And it happens. I mean, it's not unusual to see people to just kind of wiggle their way out of providing any information whatsoever. But if
yeah,
that's the case, then I know that's all there is, and then you get a fluff
yeah.
piece and nothing else. So yeah,
So there it is. So let's go to something differently fluffy.
yeah, yeah.
Um, because there are now the Pinnacle and
Okay.
Innovation Awards out there.
Oh boy.
They
Okay.
both they both dropped on the same day.
Yeah.
The Pinnacle Awards are like partners or
Mm,
ecosystem partners that
yeah.
SAP gives awards to, and the Innovation Awards are for like customers and what they do with stuff. And I'm gonna go spelunking here because I've noticed in this in the past a little bit, but maybe I didn't like get my dander up a little bit. But like, if you go the stories that I picked through as I read through these things, the individual like award or the individual like PowerPoint deck about this particular winner,
Mm.
it's like it. Did you do anything other than just implement SAP software? Is that why you're getting this innovation award?
Yeah.
I literally could not. I could not grok from
Mm.
that particular deck that anything innovative actually happened. But maybe, I mean, maybe I'm holding people to too high of a whatever, but like it just reads like it just reads like this customer implemented SAP
Mm.
Innovation Award, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like and so it's like maybe I'm also maybe I have the wrong expectation in my head that I should expect anything other than like a marketing campaign to come
Mm.
of it because it's
Mm.
this not the same this is not the same thing as like the Academy Awards, right?
Yeah.
Where like a bunch of your peers
Yeah.
vote on the
Yeah.
thing. This is just maybe some lonely soul inside Waldorf just saying, here are the 10 best slide decks of stuff that tells a great story about SAP. Ta-da, you're the Innovation Award winners, right? And
Yeah.
the same thing, I mean, the exact same thing goes on here. Like, at least from what I could tell, the first few of them that I read, I was like, this, it just, what is, like, you win this because you moved a couple of metrics that SAP sales cares about in the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know why I, as a reader, should actually at all care about either of these things at all.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know. I just,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the award recipients obviously care
yeah,
about them, but it's
yeah,
mostly
because they put them
most
on their websites.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But it's mostly, I would say, like, okay, some kind of social media, I don't know, cloud, whatever, because I've never seen that like prominently, I don't know, representing anything pretty much. First of
yeah,
all these innovation awards, I think we talked about it last year with the same awards, like where are the previous year winners? Because
yeah,
Oscars
yeah,
is a good comparison because
yeah.
you also submit, oh, this is for your consideration. For this innovation awards, you have to apply. So you have to fill an application. You have to explain what you're going to be doing. It's not like someone did amazing innovation and SAP found them and gave them award, which would be, I think, much more interesting
Which would be
approach.
super cool.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be much nicer. And also, unlike Oscars, nobody sees this stuff. Honestly, there
I
isn't
know.
like great like you don't go to the theater to see like what these folks are innovating about. And again, this is no like not hating on them because some of those some of those things really are very interesting. But it's just, I
Yeah,
think the idea and organization of these awards, it's a little bit like, corporate, like nothing burger. It's
it's super
essentially.
nothing burger.
It's
Such a
like,
nothing
okay,
burger
well,
that
well, you
like
got an award. I mean, well, okay, others didn't. And where is like SAP keeping the lights on award? Where is like we still use your ECC like enhancement pack 0, but we crank out production every day and we provide, you know, world with the goods that they need. Where are
yeah.
those awards
Where are
for
those?
SAP
Oh my gosh.
customers? I don't know. That would be nice. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and again, for full disclosure, I mean, I worked for SAP partner full time, but I I hope I'm careful about very clearly kind of delineating
Yeah.
where my thoughts and responsibilities
Yeah.
are. But yet again,
And I mean,
it's not
it's
some kind.
also
Yeah,
it's also totally fair, like because you work for Mindset,
yeah,
and like I don't know if Mindset, I don't think Mindset's ever won a Pinnacle Award, but if they did, that would be a good thing. It
yeah,
legitimately would be a good thing.
yeah,
But it's not communicated very well on what like, and it should carry more weight, I think.
yeah,
It should be if it was something if it was something that was communicated really well and carried prestige, then
yeah,
to win a Pinnacle Award would be
yeah,
essentially like you see a movie,
yeah, like
like a
awesome.
movie poster, and it
Yeah,
will say Oscar Award winner,
yeah, yeah, or
blah.
even nominee, like, or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this is
yeah.
like nobody in the ecosystem would care
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
about
Try
this.
calling yourself like
Yeah,
Pinnacle Award nominee. You're
yeah,
gonna get left out of the room with this. Can you, by the way, can you scroll down and see if there like a summary of like
yeah. You can look at
winners
this.
and
Yeah,
finalists? Okay, it's gonna like
but you're gonna be prepared to see.
it's gonna be
Um,
scrolling and scrolling.
where's the
So where is the finalist? Get to the
where are
chase.
the awards?
Jesus.
I
Finalist
found this, but
nominee.
what? Oh, here
Logos.
we go. View the 2024 award winners.
Okay.
Here it is. Um, I mean, just be prepared to
Uh,
see some of your main players. Where did this? I found it. I have to find the
it's
page I
I
was looking
think
at again. There's
is
oh,
it right there?
that's
Is
not the
just
right.
not
That's
very clear.
that's regional
Oh, regional
partners.
partner. Okay. Where? So
Where in the
where
world
is
was
Pin?
the? I had to go hunting
Where?
around to find the. No, I'm just feeling like. Oh, here we go. There's the link. Oh,
That's the
nope, it's
same
not.
link.
Oh,
That's
it's not.
it's
Way
the
to go,
same
Paul.
one.
Uh, well, now I look like a dummy because I no, I found like I actually found this on the actual real internet,
Mm,
the actual winners,
yeah.
but I don't know where it is from this blog announcement.
Nah,
But I'd have to
that's
go,
okay.
whatever.
I was just,
What are you gonna do?
so I was just curious if there is if there are like different categories, like boxers go by like weight, for example, when they have like
They do,
matches,
yeah,
so
they
you
do
don't
have,
pair like little guy
yeah,
with like big guy. So
and
at
their
least that would
categories
be
were, if I
nice.
remember, they were they were for target customer size.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So like
Mm,
if you serve like small, medium enterprise,
mm,
you're in
whatever.
this particular category or whatever, right? So
Oh,
there was definitely, the Deloittes and the Accentures were in one other category from the
oh,
like
okay.
the people that Mindset would play with if they were
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, otherwise, I mean, it's hard to compete
Yeah.
against these
Yeah.
guys. All
Okay.
right, awesome.
But I do have one other thing because I'll just probably combine these two things into one.
Mm-hmm.
Old man yells at SAP story
Yells at
again. Man,
SAP
I'm
awards.
I'm getting so complainy these days. I don't know why. But
Something
here's
in the
another one.
water.
Here's another AI one. And a few issues ago, I did a story, or it might even be more few issues, but there was a story about IBM. IBM had announced some like a few proactive layoffs and then a proactive slight freeze on hiring
Mm,
based on AI and where they thought
yeah.
AI would go. This is Google so this is not AI taking workers' jobs directly.
Mm,
This is companies investing in AI
yeah.
and then restructuring based on that investment. And then people get restructured and shuffled around and lose jobs and whatever because of that restructuring of the investment, not because an AI is like doing this the spreadsheet jockey's job, right?
Yeah.
So this has the same nature as that other one where like I'm sure there are probably some like low level freelancers in the like cheap graphic design and cheap whatever that have probably or cheap like SEO marketing blog content stuff
Hmm.
that they have probably lost some of their business because of the AI stuff these days. I'm sure that
Yeah.
that's the case.
Yeah.
But this but if you're trying to find out is AI affecting the job market, this is a weird category
Mm.
where the bots aren't doing the job. The bots are just like looked at so favorably that people
Yeah.
are shifting things around in anticipation of the bots, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting thing, and I like to like raise the flag of like, okay, there might be reason to panic, but this is not the reason to panic. Like, don't take this piece as a sign that AI is killing your job. Maybe AI will kill your job, I don't know, but this is not evidence of that. This is evidence of shareholders wanting,
Yeah.
something else out of a business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always when I hear about this, it kind of it's great that some people get to keep their jobs, but after these layoffs, it always kind of sucks to be in that team that remains because it's like, oh, okay, restructures finance team. I'm sure there's sometimes there are some redundancies, of course, in very big
Yeah.
companies. It's not a secret, but many times it's like stuff still needs to be done. There is work that legitimately needs to be done. So who's going to
Yeah.
be doing this? You had 10 people to do this, but now you're left with 5 people. It simply means that those 5 people, they will be now overworked.
Yeah.
There is no other way to go about it.
Yeah.
I've been in on both sides of
Been
these
there. I've been there.
situations, and it's like it sucks either way. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
like either you lose your job or you keep your job, but now you have 2 jobs or more for the price
Mm.
of one, essentially for for one salary, and it's just not good. So yeah,
Yeah.
you all right.
All
So
right. So there's my complainer stories.
yeah, and
And
ending on the fun,
yeah.
uplifting note. So AI is not taking our jobs just yet, or like, but some
Yeah.
jobs have been taken for
AI is just
AI-related reasons. So
it's
just
just
wait for it. Don't worry, guys. AI will take your jobs, just
yeah.
not right now. So
AI is not taking your job. AI is convincing executives to fire you preemptively
yeah,
from your job. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now it's just shareholders taking your jobs. Nice.
Well,
All right.
that's the whole thing, guys. Please make sure you subscribe, watch, listen, like, share, comment,
Yeah.
all the smash the bell, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And we'll see you soon in our next issue.
Awesome. Bye.